Hi guys, welcome back. This is Christopher Moonglow Art Studio. In the last video, we made our cover for an art journal and signatures. This next video, we will be sewing the signatures in and actually making our journal.
Alright, the next part I did, because I didn't want all the yuckies, for lack of a better term, like the unfinished sort of page showing of the cover. I took an old book that I had actually gotten from Goodwill for $2.50. I don't even know what year it's from, but it has all sorts of stuff about birds, which this is going to be made into a nature journal, so I thought that was kind of perfect. So once that's down, the hardest part of making the whole journal comes. This is kind of the measuring part. Your signatures are paper clipped together. I put all of my paper clips on the bottom, so I know this goes on the bottom of the journal. I have sewn things in upside down on accident before. So they're all on the bottom. Pick which signature you're going to want on the back, and then the middle and the front in a little bit. Alright, so I have 3 signatures. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have 3 dots where I'm going to punch the holes across. On the lengthwise of your spine, you're going to do 6 holes, including one of the 3 that you did on top. So let me just, and I eyeball. You can get fancy and use this. I'm a ruler. I'm not going to. I don't want to be too close to the top. Again, I don't really measure, so. Math and I don't really get along. We've had a long-standing feud. So, oops. I draw all over it anyway. So a couple marks, not a big deal. Alright, so like I said, the dots across are the amount of signatures that you have. Now you need 6 holes lengthwise, including these 2. So 1, 2, I need 3 or 4 more. See, math, not my friend. So let's see here. Well, just eyeballing 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's my 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to want all of them filled. So all of the lines are going to be 6 down, 3 across. Alright, all your holes are made. The next part is the other hard part of this whole process, which really isn't not that hard. So I want the pages of my book pretty much down to the bottom edge of my cover. With a pencil, I'm just using a Prismacolor ebony graphite pencil. I'm going to mark where the dots are. I'm doing mine kind of darker than I normally would, but since it's a pencil I can erase it anyway. And I just wanted you guys to be able to see it. Hopefully you can. I'm not sure. So then I open up the pages and I just want to be able to see it on both sides. Just in case. You'll see why in a minute. Alright, do it with the next set of signatures. Again, I'm lining it up to the bottom edge of my cover, marking lines where the dots line up, open, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Guess what you do with this one? The exact same thing. Oh, it's 9:30 at night and I'm filming, so if I'm not making sense, I apologize. Alright, so there you've got all of these lined up to the dots that we made on the spine. So, paper clips are all bottom, that line up with the bottom of this. I'm double checking on this one because I have a pocket, and if it was upside down, it would not be very effective as a pocket. Okay. Now, when doing your book, like I'm looking at it, I'm going to have the paper clips at the bottom, and I'm going to start in the back. So this is my front cover. This is the front set of holes, middle. I'm going to open up and do this last set. Before I can sew them in, I need to poke holes in the cover and the pages so that when I sew them with my thread and my needle, it is way easier to get through. So this is just a bead reamer, and it's got a little plastic handle here, and along this edge it almost has a fine sandpaper, very, very fine grit sandpaper feel, or an emery board. This one is I use for Sculpey or Fimo, making clay, polymer clay things. I think you can use it they use it in ceramics too. But again, very, very helpful pokey tool. Alright, open up your pages or your signature and literally start poking holes at the edge of the paper and where each thing is. So I'm going to do it. Okay, so you've got all the holes punched into your signatures. Set that off to the side. And you're going to do the holes in your spine, your cover. Holy cow, I cannot talk today. So, same premise again. Ooh, this is cardboard, cereal box, flipped over so it's double strength. So, ooh, it's harder to poke through, but so there's my clay tool. Using my bead reamer works just fine. The only thing with this is this gets wider at the base, or at the base of the handle, so don't go all the way in, because this is the same width here as it is here. So alright. I suggest using this tool, it was easier. Okay. So, if you didn't have a picture inside, if it was all kind of abstract, I would maybe put a paper clip on the bottom too, just tell you what the bottom is so they line up with the bottom paper clips on here. But I had a picture from that nature book, so all my birds are, I don't know, if they're in Wisconsin, they are definitely flying south, because even though it's only August, I'm sure it's Wisconsin, we'll get snow in like a week, I don't know, as a joke. Okay, now, you have to figure out which signature you want in the back, because remember, this is the front cover. Open it up. Once upon a time, there was an awesome art journal, handmade by me. So I'm gonna have this one. No, I'm gonna have this one in the back. So I am lining up my holes. Stuff poked there. Stuff poked there. I'm going to get my thread now. Now you can use whatever thread you want. I have some of those little, these are really popular in scrapbooking right now on different paper media. Some of the little, I think it's like a cotton. I have cotton natural cord, so I'm going to be using that. Hello. Some of that. And then you can use waxed linen thread. This is like the most popular for bookbinding. Alright. So thread your needle. Have a little bit of a tail so that it's not like double knotted at the bottom. Make your knot, and I'm going to make my knot with a long tail again. Lots of tails. It's a nature journal. Animals. Got it. Ha ha ha. Alright. So I have a knot with a longer tail at the end because you can attach cute little, hello, be nice if it was on in frame, cute little beads to it later. All right, so this is going to be our back one. This is the one with the pocket too, so that's kind of cool. All right, here's the bottom of our journal. Bottom pages. All right, it'll be easier for you guys. All right, so I'm going to go, this is my last row. This is the front cover, last row, middle row, first row. I'm going to go in, and I just cut myself. See? Never fails. I always... Dang it. One moment, please. All right. So you carefully go in the top, and you're going to want to line it up with your top on the top of your signature. Okay. You're going to pull it through. So there's where that's where our knot is. If it was upright. Okay. Top of the journal, bottom of the journal, bottom of the page, top of the page. So it lines up. So you're going to go in the first one, find our second hole, you're going to go out. So you have to line it up there. There's top, next. I'm trying to do this so that you guys can see. Alright, so out. Of course it's tangled already. This happens to me all the time too. I'm just not nearly as good as some of the art journal people out there. And I'm going this way, so if I need to tighten it, I'm going to go that direction too. That's where I'm going to pull. If I was going up the other way, which I'll show you in a second, I would be pulling the opposite way. That way, like, when you get a bunch of the things sewn in, it doesn't loosen anything. Okay, so this is the next one. And it's not lined up. Okay, well, that's where we're making our hole. Okay, so we went, and it's messed up there. All right, we went in, out, into the third one. Now we're gonna go out. Maybe we're gonna go out. So that next one. All right. And then obviously we're gonna go in the next one. Through the pages. And I don't know why that's moved. Oh, that's probably why. Oh, good grief. Yeah, make sure your pages don't move around a lot either. I'm like showing you all the ways to do this and all the ways not to do this. Like, don't poke yourself. Don't let the pages slide around. All right. Now I'm to the bottom of my journal. Okay? Now I'm going to go in. All right, wait. So I started here towards the bottom. Now I'm all the way out the cover again. I'm going to go in. Oh my gosh, that's a different one every time. In this one, out, and they really should be lined up. Okay. out, in, out that hole. And then, all right, so here's the bottom. It was, okay, that's like looking at you. I'm going to take my needle off the top, and to get an extra tail, I'm going to probably trim it off, just because. So you just tie the two together and as close to the top as you can. So here is our knot with two tails. So that's standing up. That's standing up. Your first signature is in. You can take the paper clips off. And then you start sewing your next one, which I'm going to do the dark one. Oop, paper clips at the bottom. This is the bottom of the journal, as evident by the purple chip clip or whatever. So I'm going to use maybe a different thread. So basically I'm going to sew the rest into my journal. Alright, so I went ahead and I finished up the other stitching. So all three signatures are in. I picked 3 different threads. I can go ahead and take the markers off, just telling me where each thing was. And everything is sewn in. Now there is a gap in between each page. You can sew more signatures in so that you've got less of a gap. Or I'm probably going to paint maybe in there, or like strips of pretty papers. Alright, now with the threads hanging off, you can embellish. I'm going to turn this into a nature journal. So I'm going to get these little nature charms on here, on the threads. You can use a bunch of beads. And my son is in here filming me film. Okay. So I have a bunch of beads and different charms and findings that I can use. These are kind of like, he's 15, he's a teenager. That's all I need to say. So a bunch of different beads. I think these are like stone or bead or bone, or I don't know what they are. So just charms to put on there. And then your journal is done. You can put like a little ribbon on the outside, buttons, twigs for a nature journal, etc. And then you can fill up your journal with whatever you decide. Since this is a nature journal, maybe I'll write about a hike I went to, or a new state park, or different plant life I encounter. Draw a little picture of it, whatever. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, and there will be more tutorials to come. I hope there is not so much of a huge gap in time between films. I hope you liked it, and as promised, I'm going to give a little shout out to Hannah, who I hope will finish her journal now. She was one of my students at the youth center where I worked. Alright, have fun!